In 1896, a small African nation shocked the world. Ethiopia, under Emperor Menelik II, defeated the invading Italian army at the Battle of Adwa. This was no accident. It was careful planning, courage, and unity. Today, we uncover how one nation stood against a European power and won. By the late 19th century, European nations were racing to claim territories across Africa. Britain, France, Germany, and Italy were locked in competition for land, resources, and prestige. This period, known as the Scramble for Africa, reshaped the continent. Entire regions were carved up on paper without consulting the people who lived there. To bring some order to this chaos, European powers convened the Berlin Conference of 1884 to 1885. They set rules for claiming African territories, deciding who could take which lands and how to notify other nations of their claims. Not a single African leader was invited. The conference essentially treated the continent as property to be divided, ignoring centuries of history, culture, and sovereignty. Italy, a relatively young European state seeking recognition on the world stage, turned its attention to Ethiopia. This was one of the few African nations that had never been colonized. Just north of Ethiopia, Eritrea had already become an Italian foothold, with strategic towns like Asmara and Massawa serving as bases. But even these outposts were not enough to guarantee victory over a determined and organized Ethiopian nation. In 1889, Italy and Ethiopia signed the Treaty of Wuchale. But the treaty existed in two versions, and here lay the problem. The Italian version claimed Ethiopia was now a protectorate of Italy, giving Italy control over Ethiopian foreign affairs. The Amharic version, however, preserved Ethiopia's sovereignty. Menelik II recognized the Italian deception and refused to accept the treaty as binding. This miscommunication, or intentional manipulation, would become the spark for the coming conflict. Menelik II understood that defending Ethiopia required more than numbers. It required preparation and modern weaponry. He secured rifles and artillery from Russia and France, ensuring his forces could compete with European firepower. This combination of modern arms and traditional Ethiopian weapons would prove decisive. To face the Italian invasion, Ethiopia mobilized over 100,000 troops from a variety of ethnic groups across the nation. Nobles, regional warriors, and local militias all joined under Menelik II's leadership. Empress Taitu Betul played a crucial role as well, coordinating diplomacy, governance, and the unity of these diverse groups. For Italy, this unity was unexpected and formidable. Meanwhile, General Oreste Baratieri led the Italian army into Ethiopian territory, confident that modern rifles and artillery, combined with underestimated opposition, would bring a swift victory. But Menelik's forces knew the land intimately. They used intelligence networks to track Italian movements and positioned themselves strategically across the Ethiopian highlands. The terrain itself, hills, valleys, and narrow passes, became an ally for the defending army. On March 1, 1896, the armies clashed near the town of Adwa. Ethiopia's numerical advantage, combined with superior positioning, overwhelmed the Italian forces. Ethiopian troops attacked from multiple directions, using hills and valleys to channel and disrupt Italian formations. Despite Italy's modern weapons, the Ethiopian strategy, training, and sheer determination turned the tide. Thousands of Italian soldiers were killed or captured, while Ethiopian forces suffered losses but maintained cohesion. The victory at Adwa resonated far beyond Ethiopia's borders. It became a symbol of African resistance against European colonization. Menelik II's leadership preserved Ethiopian sovereignty and inspired anti-colonial movements across the continent. European powers were forced to reconsider their assumptions about Africa, learning a hard lesson about underestimating local knowledge, unity, and strategy. The battle also highlighted the importance of preparation and diplomacy. Menelik II's foresight in securing weapons, uniting diverse troops, and reading the intentions of foreign powers ensured success. Empress Taitu's role in maintaining cohesion and morale proved equally vital. Ethiopia's triumph at Adwa was not merely military, it was political, cultural, and symbolic. While Ethiopia successfully defended its land with courage and strategy, other nations faced different challenges. In our next episode, we explore how Thailand navigated European pressures and avoided colonization entirely, using diplomacy rather than war.